Good morning, welcome back to the brewery. I'm Andy, this is Four Priests. We're a small family-run brewery in Middlewich in Cheshire, focusing on traditional craft ales for sale to pubs, restaurants, bars, and through our own tap room here in Middlewich. Please come down if ever you're in the area, we'd love to see you. Dates and times are on the website fourpriests.co.uk. It's a brew day. Today we are going to try and produce about 1,000 litres of Cross Stout. Everything else is pretty much well stocked at the moment, but we definitely need to get that one brewed and in the tank. We've got the Folk and Boat Festival coming up in a couple of weeks, so we've been brewing quite heavily over the last few weekends to make sure that we've got plenty of stock to support that event. Stout's typically not a fast seller in the summer for us, so we brew it a little less frequently, but when we do, it takes up a lot of space in the cold room, and that's what I haven't got at the moment. We'll brew it today. Hopefully, a couple of weeks' time, the Folk and Boat Festival will happen. We'll clear some casks out and we'll have a room to get this one in the cold space. A couple of things to share. Let me show you around. I must share this with you as well before we walk off. So the other day, Sarah spotted a little piece of plastic. This was at home. A little piece of plastic on the grass next to the car. I'm like, what is that? She said, I think it's off your car. I said, no, it's not. It's like a little rubber piece. I don't think it is. And then I picked it up. It said Ford Motor Company on it. And I was like, oh, it is off my car. And where it was positioned, it was like round here-ish. I thought I better check around. I thought maybe it was, you know, some packing in the suspension or something. And I got on the ground. I got on the ground to have a little look underneath and discovered somebody has stolen my spare wheel. I don't know when. So I've been through all the CCTV footage here and at home, and I can't find a thing. So I don't even know how long it's been missing. But they didn't even have the courtesy to fasten that chain back up again. So I'm going to have to get under later and do that myself. Yeah, you can't have anything nice, can you? As the channel's got a little bit bigger, I occasionally get contacted by organisations saying, can we promote their product? Can we talk about their product? I always say no, because I don't like the idea of having to say I like something when I don't. But we had one that we can't really refuse. It was a slightly bigger brewery than us who came along asking if they could, you know, we could feature their logo and help their brand a little bit. And I said, yeah, sure, we've got the perfect place for you. So I just wanted to say thank you to Madry. Welcome to the Madry Suite, where our customers can relieve themselves of our delicious ales consumed right in that building. So as I said, we're brewing today Cross Stout. Anyone wants the recipe, just let me know. I'm happy to share. It's a good solid tasty stout. We have 100 kilos of crisp finest Maris Otter, not normal boring Maris Otter, finest Maris Otter. And alongside that, we've got, in varying quantities, but I think between 6.3 and 9 kilos variably throughout, we've got wheat malt, we've got caramalt 30, we've got naked malted oats, we've got dextrin malt, we've got crystal 240. What am I missing? Did I say wheat? There's definitely some wheat in there as well. And in this bucket, black, distinct from the others, we've got chocolate malt and roast barley. So during the mash, we're going to put in all of these Maris Otters and all the paler malts here, and we're going to save the very dark malts, the roasted malts and the chocolate malt until 15 minutes before the end of the mash, because we want the colour, we don't want the bitterness, we don't want to stew it for an hour, and it works very well like that. It's a very soft finish to the stout. It's not at all bitter. And in the jug, you'll see there's just a few little water additions. It's a little bit of Epsom salt, about 6 grams or something, barely worth putting it in, and about 50 grams of gypsum. Your mileage may vary. That's suitable for our water here. I've got the HLT at 75 degrees-ish, 74.5, and we're looking for a 69-degree mash for 1 hour. I have the pleasure of the company of Mr. Billy Carpenter from GamnDood.
Oh yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Please. Valve closed.
Yeah.
That's important in the pro level too, people.
Our feet aren't wet.
Yet.
Correct. So we're just letting some water drain in, and we're going to add the water additions once we get some liquor in there. In fact, I can use my phone for that, can't I? And cut it in. Go like a pro.
And people, if you like Andy's channel, come to my channel. Subscribe. It's just like his, except a lot dumber, and the beer is less good.
Right, water additions going in. Gonna sprinkle those in. They'll mix themselves in as we go. Oh, I didn't even point my camera in the right direction. There you go. Water additions are now in. Billy's observing water addition.
That's what I do best.
That's what he does best. We are going to get a bit of volume in there. We're looking for maybe up to the bottom of that. See where that weld is. There used to be a port there. Maybe that much, and then we'll get the first sack of grain in.
All right.
We're going to knock the dough balls out of it, and then we'll turn the pump on. This is just draining because of the head of water in the tank above it. Just the weight of the water is pushing it down through the pump, up the pipe and in. But it slows down as the weight of the water behind it reduces. We're probably ready for the first sack now, I think. Let's do that. Oh, we've got to film that bit.
This side. Ready?
Yeah, I think so. Go on.
Yes.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Obviously, our usual.
The shovel.
The shovel is the hygienic food shovel is in the sink.
There we go.
The clean sink. As is usual, we track the serial numbers on the bags. You know all this by now, don't you? The serial numbers are on the bag, so we make sure that serial number carries through for all the sacks that we're going to put in. It carries through to the finished product, and that way, if there's ever any recall on the grain for any reason, I was thinking like, you know, foreign objects, etc. in there. Billy put it quite nicely this morning when we were chatting. If someone takes a dump in the grain sack somewhere throughout its manufacturing process, I'm sure that kind of stuff doesn't ever take place at Crisp.
No.
They're better people than that.
Yeah.
How's it looking?
Pretty good.
Next one in?
Yeah. Oh, folks, if you could smell this. We haven't even got to the specialty malts yet. It's just that pure, high-grade Maris Otter that he uses.
The finest.
No expense is spared for you guys. You really should charge more. You guys are getting a bargain. We're gonna go in with a specialty next.
We can have one of the specialties in, yeah, not the dark ones, just the, well, yeah, everything apart from that black one's got to go in. So.
Right. It's almost like you meant to do it that way.
Yeah, I don't know which one's got the wheat in. The wheat's the back right, isn't it? From where I am.
I don't remember.
I think that's wheat there. Yeah, you can tell by the little bits. So I'd definitely do the 240.
That one? Or this
Both
one?
of them. Well, yeah, whichever.
You ready for it?
Yeah. Yeah. Not that. No, not that one. That's the last one. Let me just get the bits out.
You know what the best part of getting all mashed in is? Going to get a delicious British breakfast. Got it? That's probably mostly the 240, right?
It's just the 240, I think, yeah. So we've got 3 sacks of the Marisotto in. We've got the Crystal 240 in. We've got the dextrin and what was the other one? Oats. Dextrin and oats in. We've just got the wheat malt, I think, in there. No, it's wheat and oats. I don't even know. They're all got to go in. Looking good. We've added the Crystal 240 now, so it's starting to take on a little bit of colour. Looks good. I don't see any dough balls either,
No,
so
I think we're ready for another sack.
we're doing a good job. Getting the next sack in.
Seems like it's a relatively thin mash, which is nice for stirring.
It will, yeah, it will be.
Yeah, and Andy said we will be brimming this, so trying to get the aggressive stirring in before we're to the tippy top. I imagine the stirring gets a lot more gentle when you're up there.
We're all in apart from the chocolate malt and the roasted barley. Dough balls seem to be solved. We just need to have a little check, see what sort of temperature we're getting. We're looking for 69 degrees. And it's quite a warm day. It's not hot, so we'll probably approach that pretty quickly. The mash tun was quite warm. .68 we're at, 1 more degree, so we'll just continue to let the hot in. It's quite a thin mash that we usually are here, but I'm definitely focused on getting that temperature to 69, and we'll stop the water supply and we'll use the remainder of the liquor.
69.
So we are 68.2. We're getting quite full, but not as full as we have been in the past. The mash tun was quite warm when we came in today. It's May now, so we've not got the freezing cold temperature of the metal to absorb the heat. It can go straight into the grain. 68.4. We're looking for 69, at which point we'll stop the pump. Billy's going to continue to seek out and destroy dough balls. And as soon as that's ready, we'll get the lid on and we're going to go and get breakfast.
Oh yeah.
We're at 69. We've got to put the other grains in yet as well.
Yeah.
So, you happy with everything?
Yep.
Okay.
You have to put a little GamnDood sticker on the pump clip when this batch is up.
Yeah.
So the hundreds of thousands of fans that will come just for this batch will know.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they'll also know because it'll probably taste f***ed up since I had something to do with it. Oops, I swore. You have to bleep that or not use it.
I may not use it. We'll see. Right, breakfast time. A healthy breakfast. Do you think that's what we had? No, we did not. Bacon, egg, sausage, white bread.
I liked it so much, I brought a little bit with me.
Dinner medals. We've just got to the 45-minute point post-breakfast, so we're ready to add in these roasted malts now. It's roast barley, about 6.3 kilos of roast barley and about 5.3 kilos of chocolate malts. So let's get them in and you can see the colour change. So this is before we've put in the roasted grains, so you get an idea of the colour. I'll take it over to the window in a second. We'll take a look in the daylight. So that's what you're looking at. And Billy's now going to add, what should we do it together? Billy's going to add the roasted barley and chocolate malt, and we'll show you the colour side by side, if I can work out how to do that on the video edit. Roasted malts going in. Oh, smell like chocolate and barley. Absolutely
Smells
gorgeous.
Delicious.
Yeah. So we're topping the mash. We're not going to stir it right down. The first, you see the difference there actually. The first top of the bucket that went in first was the chocolate malt, and the roasted barley's right at the bottom.
Oh, that smells so good. It reminds me of no-bake cookies. I don't know if you got those over here. They're like chocolate, peanut butter, oats.
So that's the roasted grains in. Let's let you have a little look at that close up so you can see the difference in colour from before. Yeah, look at that. It's not black, but it's not supposed to be. It's very, very dark. And if you've ever shone a torch through a Guinness, which you assume is black, right? But it's not. It's like a ruby colour. We're steaming up.
I think we're pretty much stirred in. What do you think?
Right, I think we're stirred in, yeah. So that's in, so we're going to give that the remainder of the 15 minutes, and then we'll have a bit of a recirculation before we transfer it into the boil kettle / copper, depending where you're watching from. Right, that's the 15 minutes. The dark malts have been in and done their thing, nice and toasty in there. It smells delicious, kind of roast coffee shop smell, lovely. We've set up as recirculation, so we've got the elbow there to direct it in. It comes out of the pump from the top and enters the pump through the bottom, through there. And if you remember, a couple of videos ago, this is where it jammed and I had to poke things in it and I got completely soaked. So we're hoping today this is not going to be the case. So we're just going to crank it open and see if we can fill that bucket, sorry, not bucket, underback. There you go, we've got some grain and we're flowing, that's good. We'll slow it down a little bit. And as soon as we're above the level that the pump is filled, we can turn the pump on. Well, only when we've plugged it in though. We haven't plugged that in. And the colour of this will change as we go through because we've not stirred all those dark malts right into the bottom. So it'll slowly darken up as that darker wort gets to the bottom of the tank. So it's kind of a reasonable chestnut brown at the moment, but we'll definitely see that colour change as we go through. I use this sieve actually to start with, just to catch the bulk of the grain. As you see, it's quite a bit that comes out to start with. They're all the bits that have slipped below the false bottom. But in a minute, once we're running, I'll switch over to actually the old hop spider that I used to use when I was home brewing, and we can sit this inside the bucket. Sorry, under back. I think we're probably ready for that now, so put that in there, and then if someone can, Billy, do you want to grab that? Okay. So we are recirculating. That's what it looks like in there at the moment. Pulling the wort out the bottom, dumping it on the top, catching any bits that might have gone through into this underback, and you get a better idea of the colour now. We've been circulating maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and it's, I wouldn't say it was jet black, it's a very, very, very dark brown at this stage. In the tap room, let's see what we've got on today for our wonderful, magnificent customers. On cask, Moston Dragon Best Bitter, the second beer we ever made. Cross Stout, oatmeal stout, 4.2, delicious. Get Lucky American Pale, yes, on cask. Don't argue with me about it. Try it, you'll be amazed. Murgy Straight, the original and best, 4.2% British Golden Ale, Talus and Citra. Meanwhile, over on the keg lines, we've got our friends from Beer Brucker, German beer importers who are magnificent and very supportive of the brewery. They bring us over Tegensee Hell from the little village of Tegensee, south of Munich. It's the best Munich Helles that money can buy, I would say. I'll stand by that. I'll die on that Alp. Divine Hibernation. We alternate that with Cruise Control from Tom's Tap, but this week it's Divine. Ginger Beard. Cherries and Berries from our friends at Lily's in Frome, in Somerset. And Wrenbury Cider from also our friends in Wrenbury at Wrenbury Cider. You may have noticed a little modification. And what we're able to do now is adjust the gas pressure for each. So, for example, the lager, we needed to maintain a sensible gas pressure because it's quite highly carbonated, and if the pressure's too low, then over time it gets a bit flat. The Wrenbury Cider shouldn't really be gassy at all. I mean, just a very slight tingle. So with these, we're able to adjust the pressure for each in the gas line, which comes in through this manifold. Each one's got an individual isolator, and then out to the kegs in the cold room. We've added another one here for the can filling machine, and that also then goes off to the
cask breather.
Thank you, Billy. Cask breather system that we've installed. I think I showed you some of this last time, but we've tidied it up a bit. It's a little bit neater. Let me show you. So what we've got now are colour-coded lines. So for example, this one is the Divine Hibernation. It's got coloured tape around. We've got a gas line and a product line. The gas line goes to those regulators that I showed you before. And the cask breather, basically, I could probably do a whole episode about this, but the cask breather allows us to replace what would normally be going into the cask. When we pull the handle on the beer engine, we pull the beer out, but obviously something needs to replace that beer, or we create a vacuum in the cask. And normally that's just good old air from the cellar, filtered through maybe a soft wooden peg, a spile. With this system, what it allows us to do is connect a CO2 supply here, which does not push gas into the beer. No gas flows whatsoever until you pull the handle and a bit of negative pressure is produced inside the cask, and that then sucks some CO2 through here. Not enough to carbonate it. Camera have gone from a we don't like cask breathers to a neutral position on them. It honestly doesn't affect the beer, and it gives us a few extra days to shift it. So, in terms of what Camera's about, which is a consumer organisation, you want the best quality beer for drinkers around the UK. This increases the ability for us to serve good beer for longer. What's not to love? and this is a cask wedge. You'll also notice that the cold room is again quite full. We went to almost empty a couple of weeks ago. This is the stock. Mostly this stock will be consumed during the Folk and Boat Festival, unless it chucks it down with rain again. Hopefully it won't. But we've got plenty of everything right now. So keep your fingers crossed for good weather. Up there next to the YouTube sign is a little glass and some stickers which Billy's brought over. There is an opportunity for you to win that glass and stickers, and I might even chuck a Get Locky in the box, but you're gonna have to watch Billy's version of this video. I don't know what he'll call it, but it'll be about the same time as mine, out in the wild. You need to go over to Billy's channel, watch his video, and he'll tell you how you can win it, and I'll post it out from here. Obviously it's UK, so, and with there being beer in the box, we can only ship to UK. So if you are a UK subscriber here, you go over and subscribe to Billy's channel, he'll tell you what to do next. There she goes. It's coming in. And that's what's left, because we've transferred now into the copper kettle. We're currently at 76 degrees Celsius, aiming for a boil at about 100 to 102. Still a few, I don't know, there's a few litres still in there, I think. We're just going to drop that in as we're still getting up to temperature. So every couple of minutes we might have half a bucket full. We'll just transfer it over, and we should hit the boil probably in the next 30 minutes or so. And then we've got some hops to go in, which for this one is 1.1 kilos of East Kent Goldings right at the beginning of the boil, and then 875 grams of Styrian Golding in the last 15 minutes. And then we'll drop the temperature and get it into fermenter 2, because that's the only one that's clean. You having fun, Billy?
Big time. I don't have my mic on.
You do? You have my mic on. Oh no, that's your mic. You having fun yet, Billy?
The time of my life.
We changed gear on the crisp front, guys. Look, look, look. Roast chicken. We're not messing about anymore. Roast chicken. Cheese curls, as well as cheese and onion and prawn cocktail. What a time to be alive. I'm completely free. Are we crazy or what? 102 degrees on the boil. We were a bit concerned because these final runnings that we were getting seemed quite high, quite high gravity. There's just a bit of a concern that we've channeled some water through that's not picked up the sweet goodness. So we're going to have to do a quick gravity check in a minute once it starts bubbling and moving around a little bit, just to make sure that we've got about 1040 or so in the tank. But fingers crossed it'll be all right. We can fix it if not. What we're looking at now is some hops. So 1.1 kilos East Kent Goldings. That's a kilo, courtesy of GamnDood over in that Northern Ireland. Thank you, GamnDood. So that's a kilo, and then we've got another open pack with a few bits in that we're going to make up to the 1.1, and that's all that needs to go in for now. So let's weigh them out, and we'll get them on the boil. 0.1, and then we'll just close that up and stick the whole of the other kilo in. Just pull it. It is a kilo, so just throw it in and shake the bag off. There you go. Beautiful. Now let's go dangle those in the boil. In the interest of health and safety, I'll probably go lob them in. And
all right.
Billy can film me. Thank you,
man.
Yep. So we'll do the usual, dangle it in and hang it from one of the studs on the top.
Give it a little bit of the tea bag treatment.
We give it we tea bag it. That's what we do. If there's any video gamers watching, I'm going to tea bag the wort. That's what we're going to do. Disrespectful. Teabagging. Don't do it, kids. And we're going to get the lid on. We're done. I'm just going to take this din coupler cover off so that we've got a bit of a vent for the steam to come out, because we do need to let it breathe. The chimney, you'll notice, is not fitted to this at the moment because we're in the summer, we just let it rip. It's actually perfectly okay, we've never had any issues. In the winter, obviously, we need to capture it and condense it because we get a lot of condensation off the ceiling, but it's a lovely day today, so that steam will go up, waft down the street, and the customers will come in because they can smell it. It's a beautiful aroma. We are boiling. We're boiling. We thought we were boiling a few minutes ago, but unfortunately, there's a bit of a discrepancy. 102 it says there, and I tweaked it up to 103 and then it dropped to 96. So I don't know what's going on. Something wrong with this PID sensor, I think, or PID display. Anyway, we are boiling. We're just keeping an eye on the contact time with the hops. But we've got about 20 minutes to go. This thing's drained down about as far as it's going to drain now, so we're going to dig it out, get it in the boxes, and off to the farmer.
I don't know what we're about to do. I don't know anything. No, this has been a great brew day. You know, the normal little hiccups here and there, but still awesome.
We are at around 10:41 probably, I should imagine, which is exactly where we finished Cross Stout last time. We're in the last 15 minutes of the boil. We've just put in the final hops, the Styrian Golding, 875 grams, they've just gone in. And as you can see, we've set up the recirculation now so we can take hot wort. As soon as we're ready, we can take hot wort through the pump, through the heat exchanger, back into the top, and it will sanitize and basically scorch the inside of all of this pipe work so that we're nice and hygienic, ready for transfer into fermenter 2, which is still not sanitized, but we're going to do that in a minute. So that's all ready. I'm just going to open the valve, start the pump, and away we go.
Always double check and make sure that your valves are, the on ones are on and the off ones are off.
So the weight of the wort in there is currently pushing its way through the pump and the heat exchanger anyway, so I'm just going to wait for this bubbling noise that I can hear to stop, because otherwise we're just going to get a splashy, airy nonsense. It's still bubbling. Now it's stopped. We're going to turn the pump on. And we're going to stand well back, Billy, because I made this kit. We're going. We're recirculating. That's what's happening. So we're just going to let that do its thing. Right, we turn the heat off, so we've set it at 0 degrees now. It's still sat at 99 in the tank. This hose is still recirculating, but we're going to stop that now for a minute. And we're going to switch on the water supply for the heat exchanger. Let's check over there that we're ready. We are. So we'll drop this little valve down here. So what's happening now is we've got cold water coming in from the street outside into the heat exchanger, out of the heat exchanger, and back into the tank over there. So we know when it's running when we can hear it in here. And I can hear it in there. And once that's cooled the heat exchanger down a little bit, we'll start the pump again. And we'll adjust the speed of the wort going through by restricting this valve here so that the wort that's coming out is at around 22 degrees. The faster it goes through, the less heat it will lose. The slower it goes through, the more water we generate. So it's just finding just that sweet spot. We could put it in a little bit warmer into the tank and then wait for it to cool, but if we can get it in at the right temperature, that we can pitch the yeast, which, 3 or 4 degrees above the fermentation temperature we're looking for, that's the sweet spot for us. So we've got to overnight for the temperature to drop down a little bit. By the time that happens, the yeast should have started to become a little bit more active. And there's lots of contradictory advice and guidance on that. You know, starting the yeast off with wort at a higher temperature than your fermentation temperature. It might be a bad thing or not, but this is the way we've always done it. And as you know, we don't change. Once we've done it, that's the way we do it, and it works. That's definitely coming in. So, I shall don my welding gauntlets so I don't burn my little fingers. I'll move the ladder out of the way. We're going to close this valve now because this pipe's full of water, and we'll start a siphon effect if we're not careful, where we're going to be sucking wort, boiling hot wort out of the tank and all over the floor. So we'll still get a little spillage, but it shouldn't be too much. There you go, just a little puddle. I'm happy with that. And then using the spanner.
Where's the spanner, Andy?
Who knows? Where's Laura when I need her? Using the spanner.
Oh, the comments are going to be filling your...
Laura's stolen it. That's what's happened. I've been using it all day. Where the hell is it?
Is it in your pocket?
No. Just pleased to see you.
This has been all weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Andy and this damn spanner.
I know where it is. I remembered. It's on top of the tank, nearest flat surface. That's where it was. Okay. So we're hooked up and ready to go straight into that tank. So what we can do now is very slowly start the pump, just at a dribble. Making sure the correct valves are open, 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 closed. We don't want to jet that way. Open, and then out of there into there. So I'm just going to start that off now. I'm going to take a little peep in the top just to make sure we've got transfer. And we're starting to see it fill. So that is looking pretty damn good to me. You get it in there. Maybe. Oh, maybe we need another one. How many is that then? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need one more. Number 8. Billy's doing a grand job digging out, saving my back. Because he's younger than me, of course. So he says he is. He says he's younger than me.
The least I could do. The hospitality has been amazing.
The hospitality has been amazing. If you didn't catch that, guys. Hospitality has been amazing. The empty crates we keep outside here, and they are returned back to us once empty. Oh, can't do it with one hand. There you go. Honda CG parts. I don't think it is. I don't know where some of these came from. We just stole them.
Honda parts back in it.
Honda parts. while Billy's digging out, let's look how the transfer's progressing. Not set the temperature for a while, but it's not so bad. That's about like half full maybe. Time to get the yeast in anyway, I think. I'm going to check the temperature. 20.6, that's absolutely perfect. I'm just going to set the target temperature to, I'll leave it at 20 for now. I'm going to drop it to 18 as we leave. We don't want it cooling down too much before the yeast kick in. So if that's flickering, by the way, not much I can do about it. Frame rates and things. 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's go for 20 set. Okay, 20.6, 20. It is cooling, but it's not going to do a lot. A few things going on now. Mash tun's emptied. Thank you, Billy. The glycol system's at minus 2.5 and is now pumping around tank 2, which is where our lovely stout is going at the moment. I just had some problems a minute ago because it's the second ink bird for tank 2, but the pump for tank 1 was running for some reason, and I think I got the wrong plugs in. Anyway, that's all good. Billy's panicking and pointing at the overflow for the tank, which is
just let it overflow.
We're going to let it rip, yeah, because the tank's full. So this is the surplus cooling water, which I'm going to risk. Woo, that's hot. So tank is at 84. We're getting some nice 55-degree water out of the overflow because, unfortunately, because it's a warm day and the groundwater's not too cold, this tank's now full. So we've used 1,000 litres of water to cool it down. The rest looks like it's being wasted because it is being wasted. It's going down the plug hole. But I'm going to, in a minute, when I put this camera down, I'm going to use it to wash some of this stuff because it's free hot water essentially. Time to pitch the yeast. SO4 fermentis. Let's get it in the tank.
Goes in.
Whole thing, 500 grams or 1 American pound.
Awesome. You want to use my transmitter?
I think it worked like, yeah. Now it's strawberry time. These are good. Little too. Right, we've settled down now. Transfer's taking place. We're moving it in at about 18 point something degrees, 18.9 degrees at the moment. I'm happy for it to be about there at this stage. We may speed it up a little bit towards the end if we want a little bit more heat just to get started. So yeah, it's all good and it smells amazing. We've not actually checked the gravity yet. This could be the moment of disaster coming up. If it's not 1041-ish, then it's all his fault.